Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, we're going to go over every single champion that is a Saga champion for this upcoming one. It's like the Founders War, it's Wraith, Forbearance, whatever. You can just click on right here. You can just click on Wraith or Forbearance, or you can just add the Saga tag. Either one will work. I'm going to leave timestamps in the description because I know you don't want to sit through and parse through. That's fine. For every single champion, you can just go straight to it. We're going to talk about whether they're worthy of ranking up, whether they're worthy of ranking, whether they're worthy of your 6 stones. So let's go ahead and get into this, okay? And it'll be good for the rest of the saga here. The first champion we're going to talk about is none other than future Ant-Man. This is one of the best champions in the game. He is worthy of Awakening. He is worthy of your 6 stones too. Rank him up. Do the whole thing. He's very rare as a 7-star. If you're looking at the 6-star, I think that's fine. Go for it, right? Because Future Ant-Man was only available in like one sale, so he's really hard to get as a 7-star. That's what we're calling out in the general tier list. I see so many people misunderstand that, but there you go. 6-star or 7-star, very, very, very worthy. The signature ability helps him on defense a little bit in battlegrounds, and then also with some of the various hazard shifts and things like that. We'll now talk about Spider-Woman. The only reason why I would not recommend right now using the Awakening Gem or the signature ability or 6 stones, even though you can see I've clearly put some 6 stones in, I have pulled her quite a few times, even though she's one of the best champions in the game, is that I think she's still going to be, after her nerf, buff, nerf, whatever you want to call it anymore, who even knows, but she is still in the Titan Crystal. So I would definitely use rank up materials on her, like a 2-3 or a 3-4. She's definitely worthy. The signature ability is great. So I don't know if I would use an Awakening Gem if you're someone who's getting Titan shards relatively frequently. If you're not, go ahead and awaken her, put the sig levels in. You want her at 6,200. She's one of the best champions in the game. Make her as powerful as she possibly can be. It's those fury buffs and the passives and all those things. I've done videos on her as well too. Continuing on, pretty much exactly what I just said about Spider-Woman. I do think Jean's awakened ability, it's more like opens up. It's basically that last bullet point there, that the duration of the neuroshocks. I actually think Sig 1 makes Jean great. I think Jean's great at Sig 1, so I think we're waking her. She's worthy of it. One of the best champions in the game, like an A+ rank up resource type of champion, 2-3, 3-4 gem, what have you. I think she's actually great for awakenings as well too at Sig 1, and then I think she's good for signature stones as well. Really helpful in getting those big bursts, keeping those neuroshocks up. But similar to Spider-Woman, like I just said, she's still in the Titan Crystal, going to be there for a while. So only you can really ultimately make that decision. But if you're looking for someone, maybe she's not the one if you're opening a lot of 6 stones. Again, almost the exact same scenario. Bastion, one of the best champions in the game, one of the best tech champions in the game. I've put some of my 6 stones in. I've done a lot of videos on this. So rank up materials, go for it, use it. He's one of the prime candidates for it. I love his signature ability. I think it's really helpful. One, you can see the first bullet point there. That's a lot of like hazard shift and things like that, or against onslaught. Excuse me. It's like a lot of hazard shift things there. Bullet point 2 is obviously very, very nice, but it's bullet point 3, getting that fury potency going allows him to just close out fights in war or battlegrounds, those sort of health pools so much faster. I'm putting my 6 stones into him, but I'm gonna keep it on like 160 or something because Kabam still has not figured out what they're gonna do with Sig 200 champions, at least in a way that's satisfactory for the rest of us players. Arnim Zola, if you're into battlegrounds, okay, I know he can be good offensively if you really enjoy him. He's like a 2nd or 3rd tier champion on my tier list. When you remove the battlegrounds tier list, the battlegrounds defensive prowess, so he's fine. If you really love him, go for it as far as using your rank up materials. I do think there's significantly better champions that are going to be more helpful to you in questing, things like that. They're a lot easier to play. You can see that I did use the Awakening Gem on him, but I was placing him on battlegrounds defense. If that's your thing, you can go ahead and use this. I believe he's still in the Titan though, so it's a little bit of a risky move. So make sure you know what you're doing there before you use it. But he is worthy, right? And the Awakening ability is really nice, really helpful. And if you enjoy playing him, go for it. It's not absurd to use rank up materials or Awakening gems or things like that on him. But remember, he's going to be in the Titan for quite a while. He's not offensively, in my opinion, one of the best champions. He's very good, can do some things with that, like special lock and things like that. Ultron is still a relatively rare champion. He is good. I don't find myself using him nearly as much as I would have thought or I would have hoped. It's just I think because the tech class is just the tech classes really had to glow up, what their relationship between them and mutant and those sorts of things. That being said, you can see I took mine to Sig 200. I will admit, I wish I used it more. I just don't. A lot of the mutant defenders are getting destroyed by excuse me, excused by Bastion instead in war and those sorts of things. He can do tremendous damage. Myself, MCoC Encyclopedia, and others have shown this. So as far as rank up materials, I think he's more like a B candidate. He's not in that highest tier, that's for sure. Awakening, yeah, if you're gonna put Sig Stones into him, but I wouldn't awaken him just for the sake of awakening. This isn't like a Sig 1 sort of champion. So maybe hold off on that unless you just absolutely love what he does. The next one is Iron Man. There's another champion that's just phenomenal. It's just what he does isn't asked for that much. Is unfortunately moving more into like a second or low second, more like third tier champion on my tier list. I love Iron Man. I love Iron Man from the MCU. One of the reasons why I'm even playing this game was because of the Iron Man story and Tony Stark and the whole thing. But like they made a great champion that just doesn't get asked for very much in this game. So if you love what he's doing, if he's really helpful to you, he is unique in the tech class, right? With this like physical damage and all of that. So you could go for it. I think he's okay if you like him to use your rank up resources on, but he's definitely not in that class with like Spider Woman, Jean Grey. There's a reason why I had them at rank 4. I've got him at rank 3. That being said, his awakened ability is really nice. These armor up potencies actually help into his damage. So if you want to awaken him, put 6 stones in, I think go for it. But again, there are better options, but he is well within reasonable as far as like you love Iron Man, you love what he does, you want to throw those in there. Heck, I might even do it myself because I really do like Iron Man. He's a lot of fun. He really is fun. And you get that signature ability going, he can be a little bit of a dual threat in battlegrounds maybe for you. We'll see. Uh, Moving on to Black Cat is another champion that's like very similar to Iron Man as far as I'm concerned. As far as there being like, yeah, you're not. It makes sense if you really enjoy them, rank them up, have fun. She can be great in battlegrounds, great against like things, photons, those sorts of things. Anytime there's a meta where we can shut off defensive ability accuracy or cause punishment from that, she is, though, not one of the best skill champs in the game, in my opinion. What she does isn't often asked for in like questing or those sorts of things. Uh, Having her awakened is fine. I'm not gonna say it's not good, but I wouldn't use my awakening on her. I wouldn't use signature stones on her. You can see I've been quite happy with mine at sig level 40. So I again, she's reasonable if you like her for putting your rank up materials into her, as far as like a 2-3 or something like that, or a 3-4. But I would not use an awakening gem nor sig stones on Black Cat. Next champion we'll talk about is Dust. I do feel Dust is in that category with um Spider Woman, Jean Grey, and all that. She's not quite as like broken OP as them, but she is one of the best mutants in the game. Very much go ahead, feel comfortable, take her to rank 4. She's a fantastic, fantastic champion. Myself, Grass, Adamantium show this time and time again. I actually like her awakened ability. That being said, I think you could rank her up, use a 2-3 or a 3-4, something like that. She's got all these immunities, have a great time. She's definitely like one of those like A minuses as far as getting her ranked up. The awakened ability and all that, you can see like this is nice. I'm not going to say it's not. It can help her as like a defender and those sorts of things. If you're taking her on hazard shift nodes, the third bullet point can be nice too. But she really doesn't need this. So if the awakening gem, the signature stones, is precious for you, I would not use them on her. I would put them more into a champion like Jean Grey or Spider Woman, who's going to benefit more from them. Okay. Isophyne is a fine champion. I wouldn't use, probably honestly, unless you just love her, I wouldn't use rank up materials. I wouldn't use signature stones, and I wouldn't use awakening gems on her. We don't need to spend a ton of time there. The what leader does is being asked for more and more, as Jaeger and the Illuminati keep pointing out. They're having a lot of fun with this. I don't know if I would take him to rank 4, and the reason is because what he does is weaponize like healing and power gains. And he weaponizes them, and when that is asked for, he does it so well. He often doesn't need to be like rank 4. You can see I have mine at rank 3. He's served me very well in battlegrounds and those sorts of things. I don't even know if I would awaken him and put signature stones into him unless you just love what he does. Okay. So think of this as like this is reasonable if this is what you want to do. But as far as like getting that awakening gem, getting those signature stones, he is not one of the champions that I would recommend outside of if you just love what he does. Moving on, we will talk about Patriot. Patriot is a fine champion. Where he's good, he's going to be very, very good. The signature ability can be quite helpful in, excuse me, in getting his damage going. You can see the personal passive precisions gain increased potency. The thing is, what Patriot does is not often asked for, and there's often champions in the skill class that do it better. Now, that doesn't mean it won't come along. I'm kind of predicting that Kabam will find ways to make him more and more valuable, but I would not use a 3/4 gem on him unless you just absolutely love him. Similarly, I would not awaken him nor put 6 stones into him unless you just absolutely love him. Consider him like a C or like a low B, whereas like, yeah, dude, if you like him and you love what he's doing, man, have fun. This is a game. It's intended to be fun. And he is definitely good enough to do cool stuff. I enjoyed the video I put out on him. He's very, very good. But again, not in that highest tier. Think of it more like a low second tier or high third tier sort of champion. Punisher 2099, I would consider taking him to rank 3. I would not take him to rank 4 unless you just absolutely love him. He is a very, very good champion, but in story questing, in long form, all the various things Kabam's been putting out, what he does is not asked for as much, and the health pool is often of sorts, or it's high enough when the fights are tough, that his initial like reducing their ability, their combat power rate, because that's what he's doing, isn't enough. He can't finish it off. Now, maybe if you take him to rank 4, that might happen, but you're starting to get so ifs and that and so many conditions on it. There are superior tech champions that I would use those rank up materials on as far as like a rank 4. If you want to take him to rank 3, I think that's fine. I like my Punisher 299 quite a bit. I would want him awakened, but I really, 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 again, would caution you from using your awakening gem or your signature stones on him. I do think there are better options. However, like I've said for a lot of these champions, if you love what he does, I do think it's a fine, fine choice. You're not like crazy or something like that for going with it. He's a good champion. Okay. Next is MODOK. I think he's also fine. This is, I feel like we're saying this a lot, and this is the kind of the thing, the problem with the game where there's just so much asking for like hard counters to stuff. It's like if they're not hard countering a lot of things, they become fine. They're solid low tier second, high tier third. I don't even think he's that offensively. I think, as you can see, I've taken him to rank 3. I've got him at Sig 1, and that is purely for Battlegrounds defense or War Alliance War defense. The signature ability is helpful for his defensive prowess. Sig 1 is fine. I would only do that, though, if you're really interested in him in Battlegrounds or Alliance War defense. If you just love what he does, take him to rank 3, have a good time with him. He's not a terrible champion at all, but he's definitely not nearly as good as some of the other ones that we've already talked about. Lumatrix. I think if you want to take Lumatrix to rank 4, go for it. This is a phenomenal champion, and here's the beauty of it. You don't need to have him awakened. You don't need to even put in 6 stones. You can see this right here. If I was to get a rank 4 gem, I would highly, highly, highly consider him. I don't think he's as good as Spider-Woman or Jean Grey or Bastion, but he is excellent. He's a phenomenal dual threat in Battlegrounds. It's really, really fun play style. Check out Stimulus channel for a phenomenal guide on how to play Lumatrix. He truly could be up there. The next one is Solvarch. Solvarch is an incredibly confusing kit to read. Once you get him down, though, my understanding is he's actually not that bad to play. Can destroy mutants and can destroy energy damage. Can be a really tricky defender in Battlegrounds defense. My understanding is you really do not need him awakened. As you can see, I have not. That being said, gaining that steadfast passive sounds really nice. So what I would suggest with him is, yes, he's worthy of your rank up resources. I do not think he's as good as Jean Grey, Spider-Woman, those champions that I've mentioned. However, if you really enjoy Battlegrounds or you enjoy what Solvarch does, I think he is worthy of a rank 4 gem. He's definitely worthy of your rank 3. You can see I've taken mine to rank 3. And if you find yourself playing him a lot and you want that steadfast, you can see that it's part of the both of those bullet points, right? Because when he gets to steadfast, he's also immune to crushed, or they are immune to crush. This is a champion that makes sense to awaken, and if you're really enjoying that, I understand the 5 to 2 arm reps, but arm reps can be pretty important to him. So champions like that that are keeping that resource that they utilize, this feels similar to Omega Sentinel for me, where if you like him, it's not crazy to use those awakening gems or those rank up or those or signature stones on him. But I think I would play him first unawakened, like you see myself doing. before I consider that. Again, a champion like Jean Grey, a champion like Spider Woman is going to get a lot out of him. Shang-Chi, I would not worry about awakening him, Sig Stones, or anything like that. It's nice. It's fine. Don't get me wrong. He's very worthy of rank 3. And if you enjoy what he does, I think rank 4 is very, very viable. He can be a good attacker in Battlegrounds, can be a very good attacker in story quests, long form, those sorts of things. He's insanely, insanely flexible. He's a phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal champion. He's not as good, again, though, as that Jean Grey, those sorts of things. And the only reason I keep pointing that is because I want you to have a place to compare this to as I'm talking this through. Joe Fixit is another solid second tier, third tier champion. Very, very good. Jaeger's been showing us a lot with Joe as of late. Nick136 has shown us a lot. My understanding is he is a good candidate to be awakened if you're going to put Sig Stones into him. I believe I've just pulled him. That's not from me putting Sig Stones in or anything like that. I personally find him a little confusing to play. In Battlegrounds, though, with the damage that he can do, with the ability to heal back, if you enjoy what he's doing, he is a solid, solid option. He is not one I would recommend for rank up or awakening or Sig Stones, but again, not crazy, not crazy. He's a fine, fine character, and if you enjoy what he does, go for it and have a good time. Northstar, we don't have to talk about too much. He's a good champion. He's definitely better in long form. He's got the slow and all of that. If you like what he does, he's fine. Okay, he's fine. He's, in my opinion, as far as like being widely usable, you're gonna need a lot of bang for your buck. He's on the lower end of the champions in this pool, but this pool is very, very good. He is on my tier list, solid third tier champion. Moving on to Apocalypse. Apocalypse is not the dominant champion that he wasn't even like 5 years ago. That's fine. He's still a fantastic champion. He can still make the horseman. He can do a variety of damage sources himself. Big Daddy APOC. I would not awaken him. I would not put 6 stones into him. It does have some value, but I would want this from being pulled. If you want to take him to rank 3, I think go for it. If you love him, rank 4 is fine. Do not awaken him. Do not put signature stones into him unless, like, I don't know, man. I really don't recommend you do it. Okay, let's just leave it at that. The next one we'll talk about is Baron Zemo. Another good champion. I actually really like Zemo. I just don't play him very well at all. Don't be fooled by me having him Sig 1. I had 4 7-star skill awakening gems, and my buddy Pablito like basically baited me into doing it live on stream. So I did. Okay. That was a weird scenario, being fun, being funny. I have way too many awakening gems, so I used them. He is better defensively with that. If you like Zemo, he's definitely worthy of taking to rank 4. He definitely is. I do not think he's nearly as widely usable as Jean Grey or Spider Woman or Bastion or anything like that, but he's a solid, solid second tier champion. If you like what he's doing, go ahead and do it. If you want to use him on defense or you want to use him a lot, you can awaken him. But God, really make sure you absolutely, absolutely love him. The next one we'll talk about is Gentle, and I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm telling you the truth. Okay, this is another solid second tier champion, pretty high into it. He is definitely clearly made to beat up Bullseye, but Bullseye is so oppressive, such a crazy defender that they came up with a really good attacker here in Gentle as well. The designer obviously did a phenomenal job. Adamantium has shown me some really, really cool stuff out of Gentle, has done a great video, full like showcase on Gentle, what he can do. Getting the signature ability going is incredibly, incredibly helpful. So if you like Gentle, I actually think he's a good place for you to use your awakening gem and your signature ability. But what I would caution you, or really want to make sure of, is that you really do enjoy Gentle before you go ahead and do all of that. If you want to take him to rank 3 or rank 4, I think it makes sense. He is in the second tier of my tier list right now, which means he's a very, very, very good champion. Just make sure you enjoy him first. He's a little bit unique. Howard the Duck is again one of the like worst champions in this pool, but this is a very, very good pool. And it's just that the tech class has taken off since the time that Howard came in. If you want to like rank 3, that's fine. Rank 4, God, make sure you love him. Okay. He can be helpful in some battlegrounds metas. If I was to do that, I would want him awakened. But the idea of using an awakening gem on him without just absolutely loving him kind of hurts me a little bit, as far as talking about efficiently using your rank up resources. But if that's what you want to do, go for it. And it's really for that third bullet point where the base ability accuracy of 150% instead of 100% helps him out against Domino. And of course, anywhere else where 15% ability accuracy comes into play or something like that. He's a fine champion. He's fine. All right, next is High Evolutionary. Remember, High Evolutionary is in the Titan Crystal and will be staying there for quite a while. More of a defender, and one that I actually think is going to get a buff if Kabam sticks with their attribute system and staying with it. We'll see what they actually do, right? We have no idea because that attribute system is just all over the place. We've found so many flaws in it since we started looking at it again with the whole Spider-Woman controversy. I would not awaken him. I would not put 6 stones into him. He is more of a defender. I remember testing him offensively, and he was fine. He was enjoyable to play. He was a good champion, but far from the highs of the other champions we've seen in here. If you absolutely love him, are you insane to do it? I also realize he has incredibly high prestige, but I just don't recommend ranking for prestige and using your precious resources on it because I don't think it's a fun way to play the game. If that's what you enjoy doing, then go for it. Know that's what you're doing. All right. But remember, he is going to stay in the Titan Crystal, so you might be pulling him for quite a while. Moving on to Mole Man. Again, Mole Man, another solid second-tier champion. That is great on my tier list. If you want to take him to rank 4, go for it. The nerf did hurt him. I'm not going to say that it didn't, but he also is the closest to what he was like in the past. You can pair him with the Gentle Synergy, which brings back a little bit of it, but it's not exactly quite the same. For those of you who don't know, he used to be able to keep that true accuracy even when he went into his like rage mode. He's a good champion. Obviously, as you can see, I don't have mine awaken. I would not awaken him. I would not put 6 stones into him. I do not think that is necessary. Moving on to Mr. Negative. There's a lot of talking in this one, but I'll be leaving those timestamps for you all. He's a really good champion who just doesn't get used nearly as much, right? Some of that is due to the end phase because he feels like a really good champion for PvP modes, but as you get higher in those modes of war and battlegrounds, often your defender might be spec'd into unfazed, and it really does mess with what Mr. Negative does. If you just love him, you can rank him up, but guys, come on. There are you're watching this for advice. There are better options in this pool than him. The same thing goes for Stryfe. Honestly, the same thing goes for Infamous Iron Man. I understand Infamous Iron Man has high prestige, but guys, he's nowhere near as good, as usable, as widely usable as the other champions in the tech class. You're here for my advice, and my advice is don't rank Infamous Iron Man. Do not use your Stick Stones. Do not use your Awakening Gem. Yes, every once in a while a fight comes up where he is the best for it, but those are rare and those are unique, and you'll get significant more use out of your other tech champions. I feel the exact same way about Blade. So just take all of that and double it down in that. Yes, he's fine. He's good. He's good against dimensional beings. He has a lot of bleed damage. He's a good champion, but there are significantly better ones in this pool. If you love Blade, go for it, but you're here for my advice, and my advice is don't use those precious resources on Blade. Captain Britain. She's a good battlegrounds defender because she just has a hard ask. Her animations aren't very difficult or anything like that. But she's basically saying, do not do this to me, do not do that to me, or you will die or take severe damage. So if you want her for battlegrounds defense, you can definitely rank her up. She does have some uses on offense, especially if you utilize that special 3, which is interesting. Now that I think about it, you might be seeing this from me, her in a future video that I will be doing. In that case, maybe if you do plan to use her as like a dual threat or attack, or you like what she's doing with her SB3, because she could dish out some damage. I remember that now, actually. Maybe I would consider awakening her if you really, really enjoy what she's doing. I do think there's, again, better overall champions, though, for it. But she's now an interesting one for me. I got my eye on her. Keep an eye on the pinned comment for this video, depending on your check on it, if I have some updated thoughts on her worthiness for that. Moving on to Sabertooth, don't do it to yourself. Really amazing damage, can be a lot of fun, but if you already know that about him, then you're not here for my advice. Next is the Maker. He's coming in for the Titan Crystal. I would not awaken him. I would not put signature stones into him because he's so incredibly new in that Titan Crystal. He's very good. Check out Jaeger's channel, Jaeger of the MCoC Illuminati, for some amazing, amazing, amazing Maker gameplay. Grass has started doing some great Maker stuff too as well. Anti-Venom is a champion that I actually want awakened. I want to put 6 stones in. I am currently hoarding my 7-star crystals to a large opening in December because Anti-Venom, amongst other amazing champions, is moving to that pool. I think he's worthy of rank up. Yes, even to rank 4. I like the awakened ability. I like the 6 stones. I'm going to wait and see if I can get him out of the basic crystal because he will be in there. But if you love what he's doing, he is worthy. Similar to Void. Void is in, I believe that it is the Loyalty Crystal, a champion that does really want to be awakened. And there's always this debate: does he need the high sig? Does he not? I don't know, man. Okay, what I mean by that is you're getting to the point where you're like splitting hairs so much. In that, I see that you can go from 1,000 attack rating to almost 5,000. That is a 4,000 difference. That is significant. I would want him at high sig. So if you like what Void does, and he really is great at reversing a lot of things. He's like the OG with all of that, with the healing and all that. He still has the immunity, but what I will say is that I'm not seeing Void nearly as much. He is not as dominant of a champion as he once was. The science class has really grown considerably. So you kind of have to love Void, and I would only use rank up materials on Void if I was going to awaken him and get him to a high sig. That's a lot there. And so my advice is, if you're coming here to me for advice for this, is I would look for other champions in the science class to utilize those resources on. But if you love what Void does, go for it. He is worthy of them. There's just better champions that are asked for a bit more. My voice is definitely starting to go. Abomination was also part of those crystals. I believe will be coming to the 7-star crystal. Let me check that. I'm glad I checked it. No, he will not be. So if you have a Immortal Abomination, I do think this is a good champion. Similar to Void, where I just don't think he's as usable as he once was, or like what he does isn't asked for. He's a bit more simple in that way. Can be a good dual threat in battlegrounds at a high rank, and then like with a nice signature ability here, right? And you can see that the effects last longer, which is really kind of a big deal for him. And then starting with the self-inflicted poison is obviously really helpful to his ramp and getting going. So if you were going to rank him up, and he is like, again, another solid like second tier, third tier champion. I would do this more if I was interested in battlegrounds, for a dual threat in battlegrounds. If that's not you, I would look somewhere else, but he is worthy in that regard. If I was going to rank him up, I would want him awakened. If I was going to awaken him, I would want him at a higher sig. So kind of go with it from that standpoint. Is like, if you're going to invest in him, I would go all in on the investments. I just don't know if I would recommend that you take him to like rank 4 unless you absolutely love him, but he's worthy. He's worthy of it. All right. Moving on to Casandra Nova. She's unfortunately just so new. She seems very difficult to play. A lot of people are very confused by her. There's a lot of like heavy holding, those sorts of things. And then we're gonna say pretty much the same thing about Frankencastle and Mr. Knight together. It's like they're just so absolutely new in the game. I'm no longer in the CCP, so I'm not able to take to test Frankencastle. I did test Mr. Knight. I actually really liked him, and I would want Mr. Knight. I would rank him, and I would actually awaken him, and I would put 6 stones. The issue is that he will become to the Titan. But if somehow I got him now, I would consider doing it and then just enjoy using him until that time, knowing that I had had my fun with him. As far as Frankencastle is concerned, I would highly recommend you check out Grass MCoC Grass. I'm really looking forward to his new champ reviews. He's a new member of the CCP, and I have a feeling he's going to do some great stuff in those videos. He's going to be one of my go-tos for sure. Moving on to Night Thrasher. He's just not as good of a champion. Okay. If you love Night Thrasher, go for it. He's not terrible. He's not bad. But if again, you're here for my advice, I would not use my rank up resources. I would not use my awakening gem, but I would not use my signature stones on him. Okay. Silver Samurai was great. I remember testing him. I think he's worthy of ranking. He's basically damaged. Keep in mind the utility is very low, but his damage is so good that he might not need the utility. I would want him awakened. So this is a champion where if I was going to take him to rank 3 or rank 4, I would also want him awakened. And there, let me see why. I remember why. There it is. It's the first bullet point. At the start of a battlegrounds or final quest node, he grants the opponent 20 combo. That's going to help him get into his damage significantly faster. He's kind of a battlegrounds champion. I do think he's worthy. He's a solid, good second tier champion. Probably going to really have very high lasting effect in battlegrounds on the attack side. So if you're going to rank him to rank 3 or rank 4, which I do think he's worthy of, awaken him. Okay. Make sure you do those in combination. Good champion. Excited for him to come to the Titan. One of my most wanted. Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, who we can earn for free. I just put the video out on how to earn him for free. If you're interested, make sure you check out my channel. on that. I think he's very good. He's already in our, I think our 3rd tier. Now they're going to be evaluating him as a 7-star. Pretty sure he's going to, as someone, I run the Illuminati, he's going to be moving to the 2nd tier. I'll spoil the tier list video for this month by telling you that. He's great. And I think he is worthy of ranking rank 3, rank 4. I would want him awakened, and I would want him as high of a signature ability as I possibly could get. Increasing the potency of the Fury passives by 40%. This is similar to like with Bastion, with the increasing of that, it helps the loop significantly, the damage significantly. This guy's got a lot of utility. Getting the damage going will be phenomenal for the really any fight, long form, short form, the whole thing. So I would highly recommend that. He's a champion that with me and my 3, we're down to 3 skill awakening gems. I've got my eye on him for it. So all right, and we're finally down to 2 left. So much talking in this video. Glad we're doing the timestamps. It's Viv Vision again. She was part of that sale. So or the opening. Yeah, she was also sold too. Viv is just one of those I think you got to love her. Like, check out Simulus channel. You want to see Viv play it exceptionally well, explain really, really well. Check out Simulus channel. I personally will not be ranking her up. I find her difficult to play and make mistakes way too much at the AI and the way this game is. But if you can get her down and you enjoy doing what she does, then definitely awaken her and take her to high sig. But I have a feeling if you enjoy what she does, you've already done that, and you're not here for my advice on Viv Vision. And then last but not least, we have none other than Yelena, who I desperately want to pull. She is more of a defender. I do not think she's as good of an attacker as Bullseye is. When I did the new champion testing on her, that was definitely one of my big takeaways. But she does have utility. She's a great defender. I think she's still a great defender. It's going to take a while, and I usually recommend, like, hey, if you're interested in battlegrounds, you're going to rank a defender, good to rank them up early, because they're only going to like plateau or get worse as far as like how strong they are as more answers come out and we figure out how to fight them. I also recall feeling that I would want her at least at Sig 1, and it's for this 2nd bullet point. While Yelena is in elimination mode, her target cannot evade or cause attacks to miss. That's phenomenal utility. It does take you a bit to get into elimination mode. This is when you're using her offensively, but having that was something I desperately wanted. If I was to pull her, and you can see I've struggled to pull her, I will consider awakening her. The thing is, and this is my caution on, is she's in the Titan and still will be for a while. So if you're going to rank her up and you're going to use an awakening gem on her, keep in mind you might pull her in your next Titan pull. So just be aware on those sorts of things. She is a good champion without the battlegrounds defensive prowess. She's like a solid C+, and that's really good in this game. And remember, in my tier list, you're in the 3rd tier. You're a good champion. Just you have to be good to even be on the tier list. And that was all the champions. I hope this was helpful. I've done this style of video for almost every saga. I think we actually have done it for all of them. And I'm trying to improve on it. I hope this one with the timestamps and just going for exactly the champions you are looking for is incredibly helpful. Again, remember, the best champion to rank up, the best champion to put your resources into is the one you enjoy, but you come here for advice, in my opinion, and so I'm going to give it to you. So if I told you I thought the champion was just fine, but you love them, put your resources into them. You're going to not only enjoy the game more, but you're going to actually play them better and get better results than if you put them into some champion that I have higher rated that you don't enjoy, because you're not going to know how to play them, and you're going to play the other one to their absolute apex, and that's going to produce better results. As usual, let me know what we think I got right. Let me know what we think I got wrong. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.